Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and the guests. This station is not responsible for any claims or representations made and does not endorse or recommend any products or services mentioned.
You, Rick, Brandon, Tracy, set it off with that spiritual truth on Soul Radio. You, let's go, listen up. You want to sing with the triple threat crew with the spiritual blonde, Rick, Brandon, and Tracy. They got the master plan to bring you into God's holy land with Christian real. The next stop and making marriage work. Relationship letters, they will make it twerk. Lady B spitting out wisdom and words with Club 50 interviews if you haven't heard. So set it off and let's stay together, talk. Happy Tuesday, 6:30 Central PM. You feel me? Big for real, y'all. LSDT, do you think, hit the ring, yo.
Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and the guests. This station is not responsible for any claims or representations made. Thank you for listening to Soul Radio. The opinions expressed in this program are those of the host and the guests. This station is not responsible for any claims or representations made and does not endorse or recommend any products or services mentioned.
You, Rick, Brandon, Tracy, set it off with that spiritual truth on Soul Radio. You, let's go, listen up. You want to sing with the triple threat crew with the spiritual blonde, Rick, Brandon, and Tracy. They got the master plan to bring you into God's holy land with Christian real. The next stop.
Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good.
All right,
I
we're
done entered into a whole new year of life, so I'm doing great.
yeah, we're a couple of minutes behind. I had a connection issue, but we are on the line. I got my sister here today with me too. There's a mic. You can pick it up with you. It doesn't have to stay there. You can pull it out. Yeah, I just put it there to hold on to it. So I got my sister here
Evening.
today to me with me. And LP Productions, what's up, man?
I'm making sure the show is not on fire.
We appreciate that. So, hey, everybody,
Tracy
welcome.
on here right now. Hey,
Hey,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Okay, thank you all for doing
Miss
that.
you.
So we got Tracy on the air with us as well. So, hey, want to thank everybody for listening to the show. We got some good things we're going to be talking about today. Interesting conversation. We're going to come up with Kirk Franklin, and we're going to have the audio that's going to play with that as well.
Yeah.
So definitely we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about, what is it? Am I saying this right, Vanessa? Is it, I say Kumo. Is his name Kumo? I don't know why I thought it was Como, because they always say the Como show when his brother does it. Como, Kumo, whatever it is, Como, the governor for New York is into some serious situations. So we're going to talk about that, but I'm going to change this up a little bit because I want to ask the questions to the sisters. I mean, I'm starting to think that things are getting a little bit crazy around here, and a brother can't do things anymore. So we're going to talk about that. Don't get mad at me. I'm just speaking for the brothers. I got to speak for the brothers today. Y'all going to get mad at me. Well, come on, I ain't talking about that. I'm just speaking for the brothers. And then we're going to have another conversation that's going to come up as well. Brent, you got anything, a shout out you want to do before we get into this thing?
I want to verbally shout out thank you to my loving husband, this one right here, and my beautiful sister-in-law right here, and the other Brenda team that was out there that surprised the mess out of me with a surprise 55th birthday party. I love you guys. Appreciate it. And I'm wearing one of the gifts. We're going to take pictures afterwards. Maybe Vanessa, you can see her. It's an Ife Designs t-shirt. I just love her representing and supporting my business. But go ahead. It's not all about me right now.
Yeah. You know, it's very hard putting that together because you had to try to find out the right people to invite. You can only have about 6 people. Of course, Mama, your sister, and my sisters was one, and I picked people that I knew that had, vaccination shots. It was, I just had to do it that way, and it was just a little bit difficult. If it wasn't for the vaccine, you would have probably had, about 20 people there or more, but I wasn't able to do that. And in some ways, I'm glad because I made sure that I paid for all the meal, and 20 people y'all have just been sharing one steak or something like that with 20 people. I'm like, that'd have been a little bit too much money. Can I have one steak, please? Mm-hmm. Give them one steak and let them share it. Almost like, I think Chris Rock did a thing one time. Can I just get half of a sandwich? How much is half of a sandwich for $1? Can I just get one rib? That's would have been what y'all would have been saying then. So we got to go on. Thank you all again for listening to the show. We're gonna talk about the Kirk Franklin. Baby, what we got for the for Christian Real? I'll let you start it off for me.
Was Kirk Franklin in the wrong?
So some of you all probably did not hear it. If you didn't hear it, we're gonna play it. LP is gonna hook up Kirk Franklin 1 and 2. And then we're gonna play this. But Kirk Franklin had a situation with his son. And you're going to hear the information. I have to warn you, there's going to be, a little cursing in here, something like that. So, don't be judgmental. Just listen to it. And then we're going to talk about it. LP, do your thing.
It's coming.
Give her your thing. Somebody give her the thing.
Yeah, I'm going to pause it. We're going to start over.
Oh, I thought we was going to see the video.
You guys ready?
So we're going to start off, not the video. You can listen to it because I've already heard it.
All right, everyone's set up.
Okay, so you're going to start it over.
You going to put the headphones on?
Are you going to put your headphones on? Okay. No, it is a radio show. We are moving.
Okay.
All right, now before you start number 2, that was Kurt Franklin having a discussion with his son. Now, he's going to let you know that they've had a volatile relationship for a long time. And this is a son I believe he had with his first wife. They've had a very bad and traumatic relationship for a long time. And his son decided that he would try to kind of deframe him a little bit by putting this video out there. And so when Kurt Franklin found out that the video was out there, this is part 2. This is Kurt Franklin explaining that. LP, you got that for us? All right. So that's basically the gist of what happened there. And oops, I'm sorry. Let me turn that thing off. That's basically the gist of what happened there with Kurt Franklin and his son. And you know, we all have had problems with our children before. You know, some of these LPs, I mean, people can be very hard-headed, you know. You know, they don't want to listen to anything. You know, they hard-headed. They think they know everything. I'm just using you an example, LP, because you're here. Now, you are hard-headed and you don't listen and you think you know everything, but you do know some things, okay? So I'm not using you as an example, but I'm using you as an example, okay? You all right with that? Yeah, because he can speak up for the belligerent, you know, son. That's what I'm expecting him to do. That's why I'm getting him riled up. Because I got to get him riled up, because if you don't, he ain't going to say nothing. But I'm going to go to my sister first, and I'm going to ask her the question. I mean, she like, why me first? Because I'm the host, and I go last. I mean, what did you think when you heard Kurt Franklin say that? You know, Kurt Franklin is a mega gospel star. Has been for a long time, and then all of a sudden you hear this from him. What was your first reaction when you heard that?
My first reaction was I was appalled at the language and the intensity behind the words that he spoke. However, he is a man first and foremost. Well, he's a human and a man first and foremost. So he's entitled to his personal feelings. He's entitled to get angry. He's allowed to make mistakes. He's not perfect. No one is. For the guy to well, one, we don't know all the background history between the two of them. So we don't know what caused the rift, what caused the problems and the fight. Was it the son? Was it the son's mother? There's a lot in the background that we don't know about. And the son only played a certain amount of the tape. He didn't play the entire tape. So we don't know what was said prior to Kirk going off or what. So I have to allow him to make that mistake. And the guy must have really pushed some buttons, because as a parent, all parents know that their kid is capable of pushing a button. And once that button is pushed, you snap off, me included.
Yeah.
So I have to say that it happened. You know, it shouldn't have been recorded and put out in public.
Yeah. Miss Brenda, LP, was it? I mean, is her mic close enough that you hear everything? Yeah, okay, good. He's got that covered. Brenda, what you got to say about that?
I'm not shocked of what Kirk Franklin done. As a parent, he had every right to chastise his child, grown child or not, in whichever way he wanted to. Yes, the language was foul, and we judge harder because, one, he's a Christian, and two, he's in the public eye. but the son intentionally tried to defame his father. So that's the part that hurts. And no matter what, I don't expect my child to record me and then to air it out in public to make me look bad. But whatever the situation might have been, it hurt him. You know, it was two stages of it, and they have said that Steve Harvey came to his defense with other people that came to his defense. We don't know, like Vanessa said, what took place, but that son took it to a whole nother stratosphere. And I commend Kirk for coming back and apologizing to the public, which he don't owe us an apology. And most people think, well, yes, he does because he's in the public eye. He didn't make it public. I don't think he owed us an apology for that. I just know it was disheartening to hear that a son made a comeback like that towards his father to mess his name up.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, LP, you're the young one in here. I got to get you to say something about that. You don't probably you may not know Kirk Franklin, but as a son and father relationship, how do you feel when you heard that?
I don't know. I feel like we don't have enough. I feel like I don't have enough context to have an informed opinion, so I don't really have any strong opinions. I feel like I need a lot more context before I.
Is he running for politics or something? Is he as a politician? I mean, it's like, it's like, are you
He's giving safe answers.
I'm telling you, I mean, very safe. I'm trying to figure out is he. I mean, what district?
They can't play it back later.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what district are you running for?
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, what district are you running for that you're so particularly careful for a 21-year-old to say, I don't have content? So, I mean, really?
Yeah, I don't have any. I feel like it's I don't know. I don't have any context. So I don't have any like really super.
Okay, so
strong
you look
opinions
up the
about it.
contents because you're good with that.
I tried to find some and I couldn't.
Really?
Yeah,
I kind of figured you probably looking for. But let me just say this. You know, I think LP is. He's running for office somewhere. Obviously, Vanessa would be able to figure it out. He's running office somewhere.
He's
He's not gonna let anyone catch him.
Yeah, I see. He's already politically correct in things that he does. So that's good. But I will say this, as a father who had a son who has ticked me off at occasions, a lot of times of some of the things that he's done, I have gotten angry with him to the point that I have said a word or two that I digress and shouldn't say. All of us have done this. You know, your son gets you mad. I mean, I'm a minister. I wasn't a minister all my life. I mean, I had a, that, what was that commercial, Dirty Mouth, had the gum thing. I used to curse just like everybody else when you played sports and stuff like that. So a word or two came out of my mouth. And even Marvin Sapp, one of the singers said, hey, this happens, sometimes. I do think it's wrong that the son would try to use that to defame and make his father look bad, knowing who Kirk Franklin is. They've had a problem with each other. That he should have kept that problem between them and not tried to make his father look bad. And I would agree with Brenda. I don't think Kirk Franklin owed us a explanation, but I'm glad he did. Because as a Christian, you want to be able to apologize. The Bible says we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. And Kirk Franklin, as Vanessa said, is human. He's a man. People get upset. You say things. The Bible even says, be angry but sin not. It's going to let you know that there's going to be times where people, places, or things in your life is going to make you upset. But I don't know if I have enough contents to really make a comment about this, but I do believe that it's just a common thing where if you have a combative relationship, and obviously their relationship, as Kirk Franklin said, they've had problems before. He tried to get a counselor on there to talk, but his son didn't want it. And his son, as Vanessa was also saying eloquently, is saying that he provided the part that he wanted. We don't know if that was doctored or what happened or what he did to cause that, but it made Kirk Franklin look bad. But again, the Bible also says when Jesus had the woman who had sinned with the men, says he without sin cast the first stone. And I'm not going to cast a stone against him. And I understand, him, and I thank him for making the apology because, we all have gotten to that point where someone has made us mad. It doesn't necessarily have to be your kid, but someone has made you mad and did that. So
What you doing?
so as political correct, that's gonna be. I'm instead of LP, I'm gonna call him
Sneaky Joe.
you know, because I mean he sat there and gave the perfect politician answer. Oh my God. I'm like, who is this? Vanessa, can we find out what version of the body snatcher this kid is over here? He gonna come up with this political answer. You know, I don't have the contents to give an answer to this. I'm like, but you know, I'm sure that governors around the country are gonna start calling him and say, I want you to start writing my content for me because you've got a great answer for this. But again, you're gonna say something.
I do want to say this though. His son, Carrion, or whatever his name is, they said the relationship has been strained since he's been 18. Seems like it might have been some jealousy in there. Don't know all the content, but over the years, some stuff that went down might have been some jealousy. But that young guy controlled the narrative of this whole story, but he didn't know really who his father was because it was so humiliating and embarrassing for Kirk Franklin, like I said, to be hit like that, blindsided, and to be defamed as he thought. But to put on his big boy underwear and come out and say, yeah, I said it, I was wrong, I'm a parent. He pushed my buttons, he did all of that. And I don't owe you an apology, but I'm giving you one because I'm the bigger person out of this. And like I said, the son did not play everything, but it aggravates me for that son that it's like, what are you seeking for? Because some part in the audio was, I always took care of myself. I never got money from you. So that makes me think that's the underlying issue there, where your father was trying to help you become a man and you fell short on that doing some, to me, this was some sissy girl stuff that he did. So for Carry On, I think a lot of people looking at you more of, he needs help. He needs psychological help with that.
And you know, and I'll just throw back off of what you said is that it sounds like, you know, he felt privileged and didn't get all the privileges that he wanted.
Or thought he
You know,
should
and
have.
you know, you're growing up to be a man because he even said, I'm a man now. But he wants to say, you know, I didn't get everything I want because he figured you're Kurt Franklin. You got some money. You should be able to give me the things that I want. But at some point, you got to wean the child off and allow him to do his own thing.
But the thing about it is that from talk with other people, I think there was an issue with the kid. The son has an issue with the way Kirk Franklin treated him versus the kids that lived up under his roof. Regardless to that, what you should have been doing is trying to work on the relationship to incorporate yourself into the family. Is this what occurred, or you know, what are the underlying factors that has caused this rift? That has not come out yet. The son is not interested in bringing that out. What he's interested in is trying to destroy his father. And to me, when you are trying to destroy your father, that means you have problems with yourself.
Yep. And he
Yeah.
seemed to have some big problems.
Yeah, he did. You know, it's hurtful that happened. I'm hoping that somehow or another, the one thing that I'm hoping that somehow throughout this situation, their relationship will be able to be mended in a way that hopefully, you know, they could, you know, have a better relationship and start working. And maybe a counselor can help them with that because this is a fractured relationship that just got even worse. Because the son wanted to highly publicize something to embarrass his father because he knows that, you know, his father's famous. I mean, you know, people have done that if you get too many followers on Facebook. But I mean, you know, I'm quite sure if Kurt Franklin's on Facebook, and I'm sure he is, he's probably got millions of followers. Something like this out there, you know, especially with the news now. They're going to do everything they can to try to exploit this and make it to be a major issue. And hopefully they can take some time with each other and work this out to a point. So all of us are agreeing, you know, we know that Kirk Franklin shouldn't have said this, but we understand it. And we're not angry or think I'm not saying he was right, but I can understand what he did. Let's just put it that way.
He was pushed to an explosive point.
Yeah.
Again, he's human, and you can be pushed. Again, we don't know the backstory, what led up to him exploding. the son did not release that part. You can take that whole tape recording, cut it up, split it up, excuse me, and release what you want to release.
Yeah.
So he decided to release the most volatile, aggressive part of the conversation. He found the worst section of that entire conversation to release. But he's not releasing anything he said. The son didn't release anything that he said prior to the conversation.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate, but hey, Alderman LP, you still got the same comment? You still no comment?
Oh yeah, I don't have enough context.
Okay, I just love hearing that. I don't have
Really
enough
friends
context.
with Carrie
Now I'm going to hear this. I'm just going to start asking for these political correct comments to come from him. So speaking of that, we're going to go into our song, and I've got my boy who's going to be playing some songs here. We're going to have. This paper is obviously not the right one.
We have
what we got?
Kirk Franklin and the Family, Blessing in the Storm, Kirk Franklin Looking for You, and then Kirk Franklin, I Smile.
So we're going to take the I Smile out because that's going to be a little bit more time. But the two songs I want you to play, that was my mistake. But I did bring the storm up because of him going through the storm. Yes. And then, after that, Kirk Franklin said he apologized and he's going to be looking for his son. So I've been looking for you is going to come up. And so we're going to let those two play. I want y'all to join us on Facebook because we got some great conversations we're going to talk about. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Como, what do you call it, Vanessa? Como effect. And I want to ask the question that's going to cause some problems here today. Can a brother still flirt is going to be my question I'm asking. Can a brother still flirt? So join us back up there. Hey, LP, do your thing, man. Okay. I don't want to hear that. So, Ms. Brenda, you're going to have to come up with your couple of things you're going to be talking about.
Are we ready for
Yep.
it? Well, let's talk about that beautiful Anita Baker. It is so sad in the music industry that most, especially African Americans, do not get their just due, and they seem to have the hardest time of owning their masters and getting their money off of that. Only one I know of that did that excellently was Michael Jackson and the Beatles. They own the whole everything, so anything go down, they getting paid.
They own the library.
Yeah, I think
They own the library.
I think Stevie
Yeah, the
Wonder
whole
did that as
library.
well too.
Who?
Stevie Wonder did that with his music,
he was
I believe.
a smart man to do
Yeah.
it because now caught up in the masters, Anita Baker asks fans not to stream or buy music as she fights to reclaim her music rights. She was saying all the people that she had contracts with, she outlived them. They're dead and gone. Why not? She fulfilled her contract. Why aren't you guys paying her, Rick? Why are they doing that? And are they allowed to do that?
There's an old song that the OJs made. It's called For the Love of Money. People will rob, they'll steal, they'll turn on you. They don't care. That's the whole reason. For the love of money. They know they can make more money holding on to those contracts, holding on to those originals than they would be ever to make. If once they give it to them, their money's gone. Because she's going to get, she has the royalties that's coming from those. And so it's all about money. There's another song called It's All About Money, Ain't a Blank Thing Funny. They say you got to have a job in the land of milk and honey. You got to have something. And they're holding on to this because they know that they're going to get more money by holding on to it than they did to release it. I think it's smart of her to go through the process of asking her fans. I think they said she got about 2 million people asking them to not to stream or buy her music.
600K.
And if she can do that, how many?
600K.
I could have sworn it's about 2 million or something like that. But I understand her doing it, and hopefully that can work out to her benefit.
That's just impossible.
Huh?
It's just impossible. People are gonna stream her music regardless.
I mean, sure they probably will, but hopefully somehow or another it drops. Is basically what she's hoping that somehow it will drop.
Some pain.
Okay, politically correct. Now all of a sudden,
It just the digital age. Like people are just gonna stream. People probably aren't even gonna see that. They're gonna if you want to listen to a song, they're gonna listen to that song. They're probably not keeping up with their Twitter. They're probably not.
Well, hopefully the people that actually follow her will do that. she's got 600,000.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll share to other different people and
What's her
get to a
name?
lot of places. You know, hopefully that will work. But
What's her name?
Anita Baker.
What's
It's
her
so
name?
funny. Right, right. It's like, who?
Oh wow.
No,
Right, that
I'm
make you
making
feel
sure. I'm
old,
making sure I
like-
get it. No, I kind of no. Just make sure I got it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like what's her name?
Don't
What's
feel
her name?
bad because the Grammys.
So was it? I mean,
Girl, we
All
gonna
right,
talk
well,
I mean-
about that.
Anita Baker's "Sweet Love" has 20 million views.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, did you give him the thing to put up there? The stuff so you can put up there? You didn't give him copies to put the thing up there.
I'll find you.
Okay.
I got
Well, we often need a Baker thing now.
I got it next time.
So what's the next thing you got? You want to say something else about that?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about those Grammys. Tiffany Haddish Grammys acceptance speech is the best one you never heard at the show. Now, I love the fact that she is second only to Whoopi Goldberg to win this award for comedy, and she got it off of her what was the name of her thing she did? It's somewhere up in here, but Black Mitzvah, her comedy show
Black
that she did.
Mitzvah, yeah.
And she won off of it. She was shocked, pleasantly shocked, but she wanted this to be a teaching lesson for the children instead of being, oh my God, I can't believe they're finally. She did a very nice rollout acceptance speech, and people were shocked that came from her. But I'm proud of it. It's like whichever way you could get it, she got it. And I hope nobody dogged her out about receiving it. But it was nice that they said that instead of her, being typical, oh my God, I would like to thank, she was like, let me school these young people. And I appreciate that. And I'm proud that she's the second only to have received that award.
Yeah, I thought when she won the award, when she was sitting down with these two young ladies, African American girls, and
She was on another show.
huh?
She was on another show.
Yeah, but it was so funny because the producer seemed like he was talking about, yeah, you've been nominated more than once. I mean, she felt like she stepped back like, is he trying to embarrass me? But she caught her composure like, okay, I'm with these kids, so I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
See, sisters always
But
be
I mean,
ready.
yeah, everybody got a Betty Shabazz in their household. I can tell you that much. But at that point, he said, yeah, you've been nominated many times, and you won this time. And she's like, yeah, what? Wait, what? I won. Yeah, you won.
Say we have no sound. What is going on?
I saw that and then I checked it and
Who's saying that?
Testing.
Teresa
Can you
Brown
hear
said
me
no
now?
sound.
I was here. I heard it fine on Twitch. Here, let me pull up the Facebook.
And it's interesting because I could.
Teresa, can you hear me now?
I don't know. Maybe on her end that we can't hear
It's the
something.
second person that said
Well,
it.
Is that the second
Steve-
person?
Steve- Hear us?
Stephen Best is commenting. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
commenting on what we said.
So
Go on Twitch. I'll check.
so we'll check into that. But
I can hear it on Facebook. I don't know. Refresh your streams, guys. Hit
Yeah.
the little refresh button.
yeah,
Audio's all good on my
Okay.
end.
All right.
Steven said he hear us.
Yes.
A comment on regarding that from Mr. Best was Tiffany was not actually at the Grammy Awards. She was filming her kids say the funniest
Yes.
things or the darnest things TV show when it was announced that she found out live during the taping that she won the award. So that was so cool though. That's like I said, what's the saying? Stay ready for you don't have to get ready. Even though she probably never thought she had a chance, and you know what to win. Boom. She won. She received that with a nice speech, and it was a lesson learned for her two little kids that was with her.
yeah, I mean it's nice, and I'm glad she's won it. I what I did like about the last thing, and I was gonna say the realism. I mean, she was she cried and she was saying all this work that you put in there, and you don't know if it's gonna work out or not, and then to get that accolade is something that's special, and so for that I'm proud of her. I mean, I haven't really heard her comedy and stuff like that, but I'm glad that she has won.
Black Mitzvah was funny.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna have to probably check it out on Netflix or something like that. I know she does something also with a show where she has female comedies, and Who's Up Next, I think, or something like that.
I think so.
I think it's Hoops Up Next and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody else is hearing okay. If you're not, as LP Production says, refresh and you should be okay. Do you got another story you got before we go on?
We sort of hit upon it with Steve Harvey. It was him coming to the defense of Kirk Franklin, and a lot of people was giving him judging. That's the thing I don't like when you're in a public life. They just judge. They was dogging him out, and he came to his defense and, told him it's okay, and that he didn't owe anybody an apology. But like you said earlier, sometimes you could be pushed by your children, and that a private matter went public, so that was the wrong thing. And so the people that jumped on Carry On's defense, it's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Steve Harvey was trying to stop it in his tracks, but you know what? People gonna do what they're gonna do, and in another 2 weeks, the story gonna be old news. So Kirk, you fine.
Well, this is one of the things that shocked me is what I call the generational gap. There would be no way we would talk to our parents like he was.
None.
I mean, my mama said a couple of things that I didn't like when I was old. I didn't say anything back to her. I'm like, okay, it's mama. I'm not gonna say anything. I mean, but it's out of respect. But it's like he gonna say F you, blah blah. I mean, that kind of relationship will get you bad. And now, you just can't, beat the fool out of kids like you used to.
They may shoot you.
DCFS, hey,
They may shoot you.
DCFS, has this stuff now where, the parent is wrong. The child can do whatever he wants to, but once you hit that child, you in trouble. And it's like, and it gives the child, it's what I call the Bart Simpson effect. The child now has more power to do and say whatever he wants to, and the parents got to sit there and just say, "Don't say that, Johnny." See, that's why I'm glad I don't have any kids at this point, because I'd be doing this radio show from the jail, live from Cook County Division 6. Rick McCain, Brenda's on the outside with us. We be in jail.
Wait, Vanessa, you hear us?
Huh?
4, 3,
We coming back on.
2, 1.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Stay Together Talk Show. Your host, Reverend Rick McCain, along with my baby, my girl, my boo. Having some fun. Hey, you guys got to come join us on Facebook.
TV/Let's Stay Together Talk, Facebook.com/Let's Stay Together Talk, and YouTube.com/Let's Stay Together Talk every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Man, you got to put some radio in that voice. I mean, I want it to sound regal and stronger,
You know what? Guess
What?
who listening to
What?
beautiful Chandler Davis? Hey, girl, we
Oh,
miss
okay.
you. She said couldn't even look like I wanted to talk back to my parents. I know.
Yeah,
We just
I mean, they
don't
like.
even try it.
So we're talking about the Kirk Franklin thing real quick before we get back onto what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about it. And I was telling my sister, because she's my sister. Brenda's just my wife. My sister.
Just.
Okay, can you stay with me, Betty Shabazz? She doesn't understand what I'm talking about when I say our mother.
Yes.
You couldn't, your mama, not our mother, but
My mother had a look that
Yeah.
would stop you in her tracks. That little 5'2" woman would turn her head and give you a look, and you went.
Before there was an exorcist, there was my mother. I mean, before because she would give you that look that makes you think that you was about to get ready to see Satan.
Yes.
And that's all she had to do was get that look. So there was no way. And I was telling Brenda and my sister Vanessa, I'm going to call you Vanessa because nobody, I want people to know your name is Vanessa. My sister Vanessa, I was saying to her, my mama said a lot of things to me when I was older that I didn't like, but it was mama. I'm not going to say anything, but for Kirk Franklin's son to do something like that, these kids have what I call the Bart Simpson effect, where they can just do whatever they want to do, and the parents can't do anything. And I was saying, I'm glad I'm not a parent, a young child right now, because we'd probably be doing the radio show from jail. Cook County Division 6, I would be doing it from there, and Vanessa and Brenda be coming to see me.
I was gonna say, I don't think that name is fair. Bart gets choked.
Bart gets choked, but Bart gets
choked.
away from. So, what comedy character could I name that after that gets away with everything?
I'm gonna do some brainstorming.
Yeah, do some research. We
gotta send that one back to the
Bart
drawing
gets
room.
choked when Homer catches him.
Right.
But majority of the time, Bart tears Homer apart.
Right. I mean, and he makes him look like an idiot most of the
Well, it's
time.
not hard,
Doink!
but-
He makes him look
He's
like an
an
idiot.
He is
Yeah.
an idiot. So.
Yeah, but it's something like, but it gives a symbolic thought process that children are smarter than their parents, and it's like we could never. I could see us watching that show. We digressing for a second, and my mother coming there and saying, "Hey, just remember, this is a cartoon. You try this stuff at home."
Yes.
And that belt is gonna whoop your butt. DCFS, if you can forget about it. DCFS was parent friendly back then. You had to whoop him? Okay, well, understand. Now it's like, you had to whoop him? Well, you're going to have to go to jail for this. I'm like, shoot. I told the story once before where my son called DCFS on me because I whooped him. And I told them literally, if he do it again, I whoop him again. So now you have to make the decision. Do you want to take him? Or are we going to come over here? Because if he disrespect me, biblically, I have the ability to not to, let the rod go unspoiled there.
The difference is he was under 18. This dude is 33 years old. That's where I'm like, come on now.
That's just assault.
You know what?
Huh?
He's 33 years old. That's just assault at that point.
Well, that's assault. Well, he can fight back. Come on now. It's called Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
You can lay him out.
You get let's get ready. I mean, it would be nice to see two 5'2" people fighting. Try to figure out what they're gonna do. I can see Kirk Franklin singing at the same time he's hitting him. I've been looking for you. Boom, boom. Get ready. Get ready. Are you ready? He's doing all that stuff. He and his son would probably be doing the same thing. So it might be interesting. We're just having some fun. I don't want the Christians saying that's not right. It's just fun. It's fun. That's all we're doing. Fun. And speaking of fun, y'all, if y'all don't like that part, you really ain't gonna like me on the let's talk about it. So I'm gonna let Brenda introduce this. And brothers, are you out there? I need you to listen because I need y'all to help me because this conversation is gonna get a little twisted. So Brenda, what we got?
The Como, or Como, how you pronounce it, Vanessa?
I said Como.
The Como effect.
Como,
Can a
Como.
brother
Como, Kumo?
still flirt? Can he flirt, Red?
But let me just start this off. So most of you all know the situation with Governor Cuomo, where he's getting it's almost about 7 females that came out by now. I know it was 4, but more women are coming out. And then I saw something on one of these things where the woman was saying, I got to look at it because I got it written down here somewhere on one of these pieces of paper. It was saying Cuomo accuser Karen Hilton says he was aroused when he hugged her. So, I mean, they're coming out with all kinds of things against him now. And I'm not defending him because I think sometimes people that have power will use that power. And he did say some inappropriate things to these women that he should not have said. So let's just be on the record with that. He did say some things that was inappropriate, and being in that position of power, he should have known that what he was saying was inappropriate. But hey, the Trumps of the world do things like this. And, I like Governor Cuomo. I think he did a wonderful job for New York, other than maybe the nursing home where they thought he undervalued the numbers. But this thing seems a little bit strange to me that it's coming out now, and it almost seems like it's a retribution against him. It's never wrong or too late to come out and say someone has done something wrong and use their power to do that. But I'm just kind of curious, I see my sister's looking at the phone. I'm going to ask you, curious that this just came out now. So what you got to say about that?
Topics like this always get me because I'm glad it came out now. I'm glad it came out now, and I don't know how long ago this was, but the fact of the matter, inappropriate behavior is never a good thing, whether it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If we in the Me Too movement, we feel as though women of 100 years, we are moving forward. Let's, say what we need to say. If the foul, the inappropriate touching, conversation-wise, things to these young ladies, you know what? Not to try to defame you of being a great governor that most people think you were, but let's put the truth out there. Why the heck, it was something I read with the second young lady. Why are you asking me how many people I have hugged? And I mean hugged, not like your parents during the COVID season right now. Why are you asking me about who I slept with? That's inappropriate. Who gives you the right? And for him to say that we had conversations when she was felt comfortable to talk to him about that, which if she's upset about this, I cannot believe that she was comfortable to share her sexual endeavors to her boss like that. It just don't add up. And then for all these other women coming forward, everybody not smelling the smoke, jerking the Kool-Aid just to say, let's bring him down, because he ain't have nothing else on him to bring him down. So with me, I'm touchy when it comes to subjects like that. I say, tell it all, tell it all, tell it all.
I just love how you say all these words and it doesn't seem like you breathed at all. I mean,
I'm
you,
good at that.
she's great with that. But go ahead, Vanessa.
My thing is this: why would she even have a conversation with her boss about her sex life?
She said she did. So that's why I said I think he's not telling the truth on that.
She said she didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they did say that his team is trying to attack one of his accusers. They're trying to discredit her. Like his ex buddy Trump, because remember when Trump was on that bus
Yeah, yeah.
with I forgot who was talking to him, interviewing him, and he talked about how he grabbed women's breasts and all that stuff. Well, you have men of power that feel that they have the right to do whatever they want to do. So they feel that they have the authority and but actually it's the audacity to get close to women, touch on them, and feel on them because they figure that since they have this power to control this person's job and their income and change their life, they can do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy and dangerous game to play because everybody's not going to go along. But what it took was somebody to just start that spark.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling somebody earlier, the political world is very small and it's very tight. And all you need is to spark one flame. And all of a sudden, you'll see a whole lot of other people flicking their lights too. And next thing you know, the whole sky is lit up with flames. All the dirt that you thought you were able to hide or keep behind you, all of a sudden has flickered up in your face and has set the world on fire. So all the dirt that he has done is coming out the same way they did with everyone else. My only issue is that with all these men that has dealt with these same accusations and crimes, Bill Cosby is the only one, or maybe one or two, that has ended up in jail. So my question is, do you see a problem? Because I do.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you bring up there. I didn't even think about that. Excellent point, because Bill Cosby has been and part of that, and I think that Trump getting away with what he did, and you catch it on video, him telling that he did something like that, and yet he can still become the president of the United States. I do believe that right there, that the Republicans allowing Trump to get away with that has opened the Pandora's box of men being able to get away from things. Because if he can openly say he did something like that and then make derogatory comments about African Americans, people of color, homosexuality, he's done a gambit of things and still can become the president of the United States, and 75, I believe, million people vote for them, then you've just opened Pandora's box to allow men to just be able to do anything they want to under the power of believing their position allows them to speak and say anything they want to. I know you wanted to say something about this, and then I'm going to switch the subject here. Okay, go ahead.
What I was going to piggyback on what Vanessa said, it only takes one brave soul to start that butterfly effect, as I call it. Someone who's brave enough to come forward, and then the people who didn't think people would believe or trust what they're saying, they will follow. And I love the fact that these young ladies are like, enough is enough. Now, another comment came from Mr. Smith that which you just described is not basic flirting. There's a big difference in flirting and crossing the boundary of inappropriate physical conduct. Flirting could be a complimenting gesture. Give me 1 second to slide this up. If it moves,
you don't
a
have to say
complimenting gesture is not moving.
A complimentary gesture, what is that?
Okay.
Entertained by the appropriate conversation, but crossing the boundaries of making someone uncomfortable is disrespectful and inappropriate.
Yes, it is.
And so, I mean, I'm glad Stephen said that. And Brenda, I know that. Shelton. I'm sorry. I keep on saying Shelton and Stephen together. Y'all must be identical twins or something like that. But I'm glad that Stephen brought that up, and I know this is a conversation that is, that you have, you're very, what is the word I want to say? You're very interesting to talk about because, you like to, stand up for women's rights and things of that nature.
And being a part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I never had no shame in my game.
But you
with
was looking
it,
at me
so.
like if I said that, you was gonna kill me. So
No,
I'm glad
no,
you said
I have
that.
no
But
shame
you
in
know,
that I was inappropriately touched. Things were said by my manager when I was working at the bank, and that harassment. No one, they knew this man was in the wrong for doing this, but he literally cut me in places. And it bothered me that, okay, no one's saying that. And I remember a lot of people got mad at me. And I say this because I want to empower women. You have a voice. The next day, I came to that bank with the Chicago policemen. They said, they're going to fire you. And I said, so be it. I'm young. I get another job. I challenged the bank, and I challenged that person who did that to me. He was the one that got fired, and I stayed there 15 years longer. I did not care because I said, you know what, you don't do this to people. And what that person did, like they said, they figure, I'm your boss. I can control your pay. I can control your life expectancy at this bank. You thought you could, but you don't know me or my God. So that's why I'm like, speak your truth.
and I'm glad you shared that, and I'm not glad you shared that. One, I'm not glad because it's hard for me to go to the part I wanted to go to now
sorry, but I
about
have to say
me and
it.
flirting, because now you putting this very personal situation that I totally agree with. The fortunate thing about it is that this happened before I was there, because
'Cause he would've been dead.
we would have been had some issues, some serious. I'm still praying that I never see him to this day.
Me
But
neither.
we don't want to go there. See, this is my Kirk Franklin moment. I'm just telling you, we all have it.
Exhale,
You know, it makes me want to stump.
And they'll say it that too.
I understand that, but here's the thing I want. I'm gonna go back to where
Harvey Weinstein, okay.
I want to go. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey
Yeah,
Weinstein.
yeah, he went to jail. Yeah, he did, but I mean, we'll talk about that because it is. There was a lot of times when you brought up the Bill Cosby. There was a lot of white men that was involved in that as well that didn't go to jail, but he
Wait a
did.
minute, Robert Culp. Okay, one thing that Bill Cosby got caught on is because he was using Spanish fly.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Cosby made an album, comedy album, years ago, where he discussed it. It was in his comedy routine.
Right. Yeah.
How he and Robert Culp found out about Spanish fly in Mexico. We got that Spanish fly.
Okay.
He talked about how they used the Spanish fly on women. And it was part of his comedy routine, and people were laughing it up. It was hilarious. The thing about it is that Robert Culp died, so no one can say anything about him.
Yeah.
But Bill Cosby, your past came back to haunt you.
Okay, so
But still in all, there's not enough people that's being convicted for doing the same
No,
thing.
it's not. And again,
so
you all are taking this in a point where I can't even do what I want to do now. But go ahead, LP.
I was gonna say Bill Cosby is in jail for aggravated sexual assault, which is a lesser charge than rape. So what usually happens with a lot of these guys is the prosecutors go for too high of a charge. And in the court of law, if you go for too high of a charge, like let's say if you committed second-degree murder, and I think I can get you for third-degree murder, then it's more. If I fail at getting you for third-degree murder because it's a greater charge, you just get off free.
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, they can add the charge
What
on
they do is
there
they
too.
try-
Yeah.
they'll milk it
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
What
they're- yeah.
What winds up
they can.
happening is that is that people usually go for too high a charge, and then they're able to combat it because that's technically correct. And then, whereas Bill Cosby just got for aggravated sexual assault, which is a lesser charge.
I still say he's running for office somewhere because that sounds like a political answer to what he's just saying there. I mean, I understand that, but he's giving political, legal advice. So he's running for office somewhere. I just got to figure out what office it is so we can start donating the money to it.
And his campaign manager.
So, I mean, he has nothing to say about Kirk Franklin's brother, but he has all this information about Bill Cosby
He
in
has
first degree and
content on
second
Bill
degree.
Cosby.
So,
Right.
I mean,
Content.
find the
Word of
content.
day
His
is
content.
Content, yes, the word of the day is content. LP word for the
Can you
day.
use
Content.
in a sentence?
Right. We got we got to have the word for the day from LP. What is the word from the day for LP today? It's content. So
Context.
context.
Oh, context.
Context.
Oh, all three of us get that wrong. Okay.
Sorry.
So context. Okay. So
He
we
has he
need
has
the context.
information.
you're right.
now.
He has information now.
But
So
baby, you can bring that in.
I am. If I get a chance, I'm going to try to bring it in
Down
there.
there.
So I just want to say this. I understand. I agree. If Como has done something wrong with the privilege of his office, he should, face any repercussions that he has to, because what he has done in that position is wrong. You don't use your position at any time, but not even with the position. You don't come to a woman and say something to her that's, inappropriate in nature. But I'm going back to this, and I got to have the brothers to help me, because I'm going to get in trouble for this. I know women all around the world are going to say, Brendan, I can't believe you married to this fool. He's thinking this way. But brothers, have we gotten to the point now that a brother can't flirt no more? I mean, have you ever noticed now that a brother can't say anything now without it being considered inappropriate if the woman doesn't like you?
Let's talk about
here we go with things that are inappropriate. Stay with me, because y'all are in a different conversation. A brother can just say anything. Now, flirting was always the way that a man could figure out if a woman was interested in him or not. And so he would flirt with her, some of the flirts were just terrible. You need to get, help your flirt game a little bit. But that was a way that he found out if the woman was interested in it. If she gave him the cold shoulder, a good gentleman would just say, hey, I missed on that one. These guys now want to curse you out and call you names. You ain't a gentleman. You don't know the flirt game. You little blank blank. No, she just don't like you. So, but my thing here, brothers, help me out, because I know these two women are not going to agree with me. But I think now a man can't flirt anymore, because women have the power to say, I think that's inappropriate, because she don't like that individual, or that person don't like them. And I'm going to give you an example and let y'all talk. I was going to pick up Brenda's cake. This girl was stepping in front of me, and she had on these sheer pants on where you could see her behind. Now, if I would have said, wow, this looks good. I see that Pepe Le Pew thing up there. If I said, this looks good, those pants look nice, and she stayed with me, and she said something wrong, she said, that's inappropriate because she doesn't like me, I did something inappropriate. But LP could say, hey, that looks good, and she likes him, and she, so it's the same thing. Why can't a brother flirt anymore just because the woman has the ability to say, I like him, that's inappropriate. I like him, that's not inappropriate. I don't like him, that's inappropriate.
Well, before we even dive into that, LP Production does not condone the stance of Reverend Rick McCain. Wow.
Who put that out there?
Who do you think did it?
LP Production.
LP Production may not be here next week. I just want to let you know that. And let me tell you something. I'm not Reverend Rick McCain right now. I am talking for the brothers, because I do believe we've gotten to a point where men can't just flirt or try to see if a woman is interested in him anymore.
Now, before me and Vanessa say what we gonna say, the comment from Shelton was flirting is always acceptable. It's wise to fill a person out first. People are too edgy nowadays. Everything is taken to the extreme.
Yes.
Which it is, but it is an art to flirting.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. What Como did was not flirting. What
No.
to me was not flirting.
No. Don't try to take it back there again, because you're gonna make it too strong, and we won't be able to stay with this.
We're gonna Friday. Until Saturday.
Okay,
Friday.
we got to do that real quick, because you're long-winded. The guy tried to talk to you. That's all he did. Brenda, talking to Mike.
We was leaving out of the restaurant from the party, and some man just came out of nowhere, and of all the people, he narrowed in on me. I guess he figured she's a birthday girl. If he said, if you didn't have that muzzle on, I would kiss you. And it's like, who the heck? What is the who is this man? Vanessa, sister-in-law, just said, what did he say? Turned around. And I'm like, to me, that was disrespectful.
And I don't agree.
I
don't agree. You know why I don't agree? I'm going to say this. Let me tell you something. What that brother was telling me was, I chose good. If you got a woman that a man ain't interested in flirting with, then your flirt game is off. I did pretty good with mines. Still, after 26 years of married, a man want to sit there, and I'm not against the brother for his game. He took a shot.
His game was lame.
It
How
was-
would
I don't-
you say a dog wears a muzzle? And what makes you think that I would want you to kiss me if I didn't have the muzzle on at all?
Here
You
we
think
go.
You don't
My
even
bad,
know me.
but-
You don't know me, and the first thing you're gonna do is step up
Wait a
and say
minute.
you would kiss me. I
Right.
don't think so.
Okay.
Here's the nuanced take. You can flirt as much as you like, but in the same way that you're allowed to flirt, people are allowed to be like offended by your
Correct.
flirting. The same way like my
Correct.
friends can they can make fun of me as much as they want, but I'm allowed to also feel, offended that they're making fun of me. Like, you're entitled to your emotions either way, as long as you don't sexually assault someone, you're good. You can flirt as much as you want, but people are not allowed to not like that.
And I'm
My
sick
thing
of
with
these
it- my thing
politically
is this, he
correct
could've said,
answers that he's
you know
giving.
what?
Stop with this
Yeah.
politically correct. You're not the
I'm just
lawyer
cultured.
on the
I'm just
show.
cultured.
You're just the production person,
So
okay?
radio does
I mean,
not
my
condone
my
the stance
God,
of LP
he goes.
Right.
Like, you know.
We got him back.
Okay, my thing is this. What he should have said was, "Happy birthday, young lady."
He didn't know.
Oh, you could tell it was her.
Okay.
You could tell it was her. She had the balloons. and
Yeah,
everything, so,
whatever.
You could say something like, I hope you enjoy your day. You're a beautiful young lady. I hope you enjoy your
Something.
day. But don't talk to me about you would kiss me. I don't want your nasty lips on me. I don't know where
Right.
you been.
But here's the
don't
thing.
know
But
you.
here's the thing.
To me, that was a very aggressive move to say that you would put your lips on my person.
I understand that. I mean, his flirt game was off. I mean,
Lame.
that was not good. But I don't have a problem with the
God,
brother.
you can't really hear.
I don't have a problem with the brother trying to do that. Now he probably needs to go to a 70s brother to learn the flirt game and smooth and how to say
And
things the right way.
Because he
You
was
know.
an older gentleman.
No,
Yes.
well,
You
no,
would have
no.
thought that it would have been, better. The young
Even-
people like
You know-
Chandler saying, don't come to her with that creepy stuff.
Yeah, but
it's like,
he
that's
got to
not
go to
creepy.
Superfly school. That's all they got to go to.
need
He got to
go
go to
more
Superfly
He
school.
need to learn how to
You know,
read
you
those-
got to learn how to, what to say, how to gauge somebody, how to say, how to approach that woman. Some girls, I don't want to say anything wrong, but some girls probably would have thought that was okay. You're like,
they
You know what? Chandler just said she in her 30s and she appreciate a good compliment, but she don't like to be degraded. And
Yeah,
I said,
and I agree. Degraded, not wrong. That's wrong. But I just believe that nowadays we are changing the narrative so much that a brother can't flirt. And I don't have any problem with the brother. Go ahead with your bad self. You took a shot. You didn't get it. Okay.
changing the context of flirting because before we didn't have a voice and whatever they said they got away.
No.
with it. But
Well,
now we
see,
now
now you're going too much because even
No,
back
I'm not.
then, if you said the wrong thing, it was the wrong thing. I'm not saying that the wrong thing, but I just think that now a man it has to be so careful about flirting with someone because it can be construed the wrong way. And the Como thing, I don't know what the Como thing. I'm not trying to justify that. Please don't say that. But just say he was flirting. And Brenda got mad because I said, he's married. I'm like, okay, he's flirting. He still was flirting. Married or not, he was flirting. Just say he was flirting. Because there are some people, married people out there and flirt, and they decide to be with somebody else. I mean, these happen. These are Christian real things we talking about, people. This ain't no, fake world like Trump makes you want to think. It happens. I don't believe that there's anything wrong with a person flirting with someone to try to gauge, to see if they're interested. Now, I'm not talking about marriage. Don't go back there, because if you're married, then your flirt game should be over. Okay, you didn't flirt your way to the promised land. It should be over.
Flirt with your wife.
Huh?
Supposed to flirt with your wife.
Flirt with your wife. Wife flirt with you. Something like that. But I'm just saying, I don't see anything wrong with it. But I think to the point now where if a brother wants to say something to a sister and she doesn't like him, it automatically becomes inappropriate. It doesn't matter what he says. It all of a sudden becomes inappropriate.
No, not with everybody. It depends on what he says. Because you don't even have to be interested in a person, but if they come to you the right way in a polite manner, saying, you really look nice today. You look, Lord have mercy. You really look nice today, Miss Ma'am, or whatever. Or, hey, lady, you looking good in that outfit. I like the way you rocking that, whatever, stuff like that. But the stuff that said you had a muzzle, if you didn't have that muzzle on, I would kiss you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Throw this out.
And I could say, if I didn't have my 45 packs, I'd shoot you.
Use this situation. A person goes and say, "Wow, that perfume smells very, very good," and then the conversation's over. Then all of a sudden, 15, 20 minutes later, they get called in the office and they say, "You made a comment about this person's perfume and they thought it was inappropriate." Why would that be inappropriate?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say this. From what I remember that someone said, I changed the rule of the manual at the bank. A way you could say something that could be derogatory and degrading. A man tells his coworker, "You filling out those jeans, that's inappropriate."
But
Or
you
saying,
didn't
if you
step
was
away
to-
from
I'm
what I
not
was saying though.
today.
You stepped away from what I'm
No, but I'm
saying.
saying it's the way you could say stuff.
But it can be interpretation too.
Okay, listen to this. I like the way that cologne smells versus I like the way that cologne
Right.
smells.
That's what I'm saying. For a woman, it's like
So you now think that somehow that I like the way that cologne smells. That's what? How
It's
does?
the manner in
But what
which
is-
they say
but I'm
He
just trying
said it in a,
I'm trying to help.
in a sexually suggestive
A
manner.
sexually suggestive manner.
Right.
What if he was just
Individual,
Barry? He was just Barry. What is Barry?
Barry White.
Barry White, and his voice was
And then
just deep.
Barry White, he be going, I like the way that cologne smells.
Well, you can just
I
say
mean,
you smell
but I'm
nice
just
today.
saying,
Okay.
it has
smells
gotten
nice,
to a
not,
point
I like
now,
the way
and I'm not
it's
defending.
a matter of the way they
It could be the way they
What
say
you
it,
say
or
is how
the
you
way
say
the
it.
person wants to interpret it at that time.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
now
also
in
probably
off
not super appropriate to say stuff like that in a professional environment with someone you work with.
correct.
Like
Are you reading this stuff?
No.
Because I'm like, what is he talking about? He's 21,
So
Then speak up.
But he's very knowledgeable, so leave him alone.
Yeah.
Speak on.
I think
the thing about it is,
I'm
is
still
that,
trying to
and
figure out
he's
the position he's running.
because you do have policies and procedures set forth in your workplace about limitations and walls and all that other stuff. But the thing about it is that it also depends on the relationship between the two people, the personalities of the two people. Some people can take a compliment and just go with the flow, regardless if they like them or not.
Right, like if you know that person.
You know,
it's
and-
not
and-
If you
gonna
don't know
offend
them, it
them.
depends on how they present the compliment to you.
And I understand this, and we're going back and historically where men have been able to say whatever they wanted to say, and there was no penalties against that because
Times have changed.
women did not have the opportunity to speak out.
They didn't
and
have the
even
voice.
yeah, they didn't. And even today, though women, there's more women's rights and equality, women still don't have the same rights to speak out as a man does. It takes more than one woman sometimes to speak out against something. This is why the Como thing is getting more validity because more women are speaking out. And that's wrong. It was wrong then and is wrong now. That I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is for a person, a nice guy who just wants to talk to someone and says something in somewhat of a flirtatious manner, you look good today, to see how she would judge that. Just the same way that I said it. And then
That word
there's
good
something wrong.
shouldn't even be
Oh my
there.
God!
It's
So now
to
we
look nice to
okay. So
them.
now
she's
we're
a-
semantic with
Well,
words.
she's allowed to take it however she wants to
She
take it. Right?
is, and you all are.
You throw it out.
I
to-
understand that, and I'm not going there. You all are constantly trying to go with what they can do. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, it does limit the man from saying anything because of fear that somebody might do something wrong. So it kind of disturbs the relationship. You almost now have to allow the woman to be the man and the man to be the woman before the man could even approach the woman and say something. She's got to let her intentions be known. He can't be the person that steps up and says, I want to talk to you, or to say something in a kind, maybe a flirtatious manner, because it can be perceived to be the wrong thing. And I think we've gotten to that point where I'm glad I don't have to date anymore. I would never want to date. You'd have to fill out a 5-page questionnaire for me. Is it okay to talk to you? When can I talk to you?
Yes.
I mean, and it's
The
like,
thing about it is,
Oh, hold on. I'm not sure if it's that black or white though is the thing, right? Because everything you do in life has innate risk. If you drive your car, there's a chance you might get hit by a truck and die. That doesn't mean that you
okay,
stop
can you
driving
cut
your
with the
car.
political correct stuff? I don't really care about
you
that.
see-
You're
you
just
see-
trying to be politically correct,
no,
and it
but you-
doesn't
but you-
matter.
you see-
We're
you
not
see-
disagreeing with your political
No,
correct
but
stuff.
like,
Okay.
You
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not his
Let him
stance, but I'm
talk.
just saying
let him talk.
you all are trying to constantly give me something that's saying, but it depends. No, I understand all that.
listen to
There's
this
nothing you all
comment.
are going to bring me that I'm just going to disagree with.
Okay, well, listen to this comment. Traditionally, men have been the initiators of the flirt game because men typically chase women, not the other way around. Now, I get what Smitty's saying. I get what you're saying. But I'm saying now in 2021, well, let's say 10 years ago, things have shifted that women are able, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because I've seen it happen before with a young lady that, like you said before, she liked the guy. So he flirted all day long with her. She was hee-hawing all day long. The wrong person she wasn't attracted to said something to her, and she had a freaking attitude. And this was coming off of my stuff at the bank. I couldn't agree with her. I said, I can't co-sign on that. You're wrong for doing that. That person didn't say anything wrong to you. He said the exact same thing that the other guy that you was attracted to said, and now you ready seriously to take him to HR.
And that's
And that was
and,
wrong.
and
I
that's
get
what I'm
that.
saying. It gets to a point. All of the things you all are saying is right, and I'm so happy. Oh my God, I don't want to stop politically correct LP Productions from talking over there because we're finally getting him involved into it. I just want him to stop running for office. But I will say this.
Iterate.
I will say this. That is so true because I just believe that as a man today, you have to be so fearful about how you approach someone because it would seem as though if you did and they wasn't feeling that good today or something like that, they will take the simplest of things out of context and then make it seem like you've done something wrong where the only thing you were trying to say, whatever word you use, good, nice, whatever, all he was trying to say was something complimentary toward the individual.
But what the worst part about that, for the women who are playing the game, and I do mean playing the game, it hurts the women who have been battered before by someone or disrespected. Because what you said earlier rings true. It takes more than one person to start that smoke, fire, trigger the thing to get the ball rolling. Because you could come up there and say all day long, which happened with me, that this person disrespected me, they did that. And if it wasn't for a camera proving, backing up what I said, I would never won my case, and people would never came forward, which is sad because you do get a lot of women who lie like that just because we could do it now. And the thing with that, for the stuff that happened truthfully to people, it's like, you gotta, they always make you feel like, well, what did you have on? What did you say to make him say what he said? What? It's like, I had on a shirt fastened all the way up here. I didn't make the person do whatever, but you have to prove your stuff in order to get something done. So that's why I say
And you just
50-50.
took it back there again to
No,
that
I'm just
to that
saying,
You know what?
inappropriate thing
You
where
think it's
a
easy
brother
for
now can't
women-
flirt.
You think it's easy for a woman to flirt with a man? It's not that easy because the woman has to worry about rejection too. And if a man,
wow,
wait a minute,
if that's the
and
only
if-
thing the
wait a
man
minute,
had to
hold on,
worry
let
about,
me
he'd be
finish.
fine.
Okay. The thing about it is that it may not just be him looking at her and turning his head. You have men that will curse a woman out, call all kinds of names and stuff.
Because some men don't
And-
like for a woman to flirt.
Yeah,
yeah.
they will publicly embarrass the woman just as
Shame
quickly
her.
as a man will
Yeah.
publicly embarrass the woman. They can publicly embarrass each other, but because of the fact that a woman's feelings are more sensitive and stuff, it breaks them down quicker than it would. A man is like accustomed to be, skip you, then you don't want me, you're lost. A woman can be seriously shattered, especially if a guy humiliates her in public around a lot of people because she's interested in him.
Yeah, I mean, and I think most men will take humiliation every day compared to going to HR and losing their job or going to a police and saying something. I just think that I truly believe, this is just me saying, not Reverend McCain, as LP just said he doesn't agree with Reverend McCain, but Rick McCain is just saying this. If a man goes to HR and says, she was, talking to me in an inappropriate way, especially if it's another man AR, he's like, okay. But if it's the other way around, it's going to be taken more seriously.
Not nowadays.
I still think it's going to be done that way. I think
the man can sue the company if he takes any type of sexual harassment to the HR department or his manager and they ignore his claims.
Oh, but come on. How many times has HR ignored a harassment thing? HR is not for the employee. It's for the company. We all know that. HR is not for the employee. It's for the company.
They better get with it because of the fact that these claims are mounting. They're increasing. Men are starting to take the stance that, hey, if they can do it, we can too.
I understand
but
that.
the only thing about it is you have men that are afraid that if they report it, they look like less than a man.
Yeah, and I think we're jumping off of this a little bit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We're jumping off of this, and we're gonna have to go because I want to play some music. Then Steven's gonna come up. But say your two comments.
Last two comments.
LSTT Raw.
It shouldn't be fearful. It should be respectful. That's coming from Steven. And Smitty said, only those, this is really deep, only those who we already mentally welcome are entitled to be inviting to us. And that worked both ways. Like we were saying with the girl, if she liked the guy, his stuff is nice, but if she didn't like him, it's like, I'm going to HR.
Yeah, and I just think that in some cases,
saying that what they do, we do is right.
Right. I mean, we need to just step back a little bit and not be so bent out of shape about everything.
Well, who's we?
People in general.
Yeah. So people in general. But I will say this: I don't believe that a man should ever say anything inappropriate to a woman, and then she says something to him that is inappropriate. I don't care if it wasn't even intended to be inappropriate, and she mentions that, then it's up to him at that point to apologize for that and move on. Say, hey, that wasn't my intention. I apologize. Can you forgive me? And just move on. But it is going to make that man very uncomfortable around that individual if they got to see them a lot of times. And so I think that the point now is that if you're a man in the 2021 right now, you have to be very careful about what you say and trying to approach somebody. And I think we need to start having a piece of papers that saying, hey, is it okay to talk to you? Please sign this paper. I might say some things that might be flirtatious. Are you okay with that? I mean, we're getting to a point where a man can't be a man. And again, I'm talking about a gentleman, not just a man saying inappropriate things. I'm talking about a gentleman, a Christian gentleman that is going to say something appropriate and respect a woman based on what he's saying. If she does not like that, it can still be considered inappropriate.
Well, as long as they do not say anything about body parts is what I was told, then the compliment is a compliment.
Well, you in trouble then, because everybody used to say how pretty your eyes were. That's a body part.
I had a T-shirt made about that. Remember?
Yeah, I know, but pretty eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that happen all the time.
Like, oh, that T-shirt is hugging all your curves in the right place, baby.
Yeah, but see, that's again. I'm not talking about that. That's inappropriate. That's not a gentleman.
But the thing about it is,
we gotta go.
A real woman knows when a real man is coming to her in the correct manner, whether she like him or not, and she will politely say, thank you very much.
And I'm glad you said that, because you know what? There's a lot of women out there that are not real then.
Oh, you're right about that.
Okay.
You're right about that.
Water is wet.
Water is wet. Okay.
That sounds like a Golden Girls move right there. Water is wet.
You know what? I mean, we're going to have to start having words to explain what he be talking about. LP was mentioning this, and it really means that. Hey, so we got to go on. That was a good conversation. We got to try to get some music in there. LP, what we playing, man?
I don't know. Hello by Lionel Richie,
he don't know.
and the Hello It's Me by the Isley.
So
Isley
again,
Brothers.
these are two men who found a very charismatic way of saying hello. Ron Isley was really good with his hello.
Yes.
Hello, it's me. It's me, baby.
Yes.
I thought about it for a long, long time.
Smokey Robinson.
And you know Lionel Richie is good with his hello because he's 71 getting ready to marry a 30-year-old. So his flirt game is really on. So here's two songs I want y'all to listen up. Hey, I need y'all to come back on Facebook because we're going to talk about two things. It's a couple of things here. We're going to talk about the Sharon Osbourne situation. And I'm also going to be talking about a situation that happened where these African-American ladies were called effing ends because of something they did on a basketball court. So get ready for that. LP, play that music for me, man. What do you mean, where am I going, man? I'm going right here. All right, that was a good conversation. So let me, I know some of y'all probably heard this with the Sharon Osbourne, where she has been accused of being racist. She has a situation. She's from UK, and she's been standing up for I forgot the guy's name now. Pierce.
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan. Thank you. And against Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle. I'm trying to say those names right. And she was on this show, and she was saying, to Cheryl Underwood that she was not prejudiced. But information has come back. I mean, she was very nasty on this thing, and off the air, she said a lot of negative things and was cursing about people saying that she was racist. But it is saying that that she said about former colleagues, Julie Chan called her slanty eyes and called Sarah Gilbert, she called her, who is a lesbian, called her a PUSSI liquor. I can't say with liquor.
Sharon Osbourne said
Yes,
that?
Sharon Osbourne said that. She was mad at them because the girl, Julie Chan, seemed like she was trying to take over the show. And Julie Chan's husband is part of the production thing. And she was mad about that. And Gilbert is also one of the producers of the show. And she was saying that she wasn't doing anything. The show's called The Talk. She wasn't standing up for anything. So she was calling them nasty names. And she got mad about that because she said she wasn't necessarily standing up for Pierce, she has a friendship with, who was also dropped off of the show that he was on because of his negative things about Meghan. She was upset about the fact that they're bringing up what she calls recasting of history. So Vanessa, I mean, she says she's not a racist, but it does sound with some of these comments that she's making, it sounds like she's kind of racist in these comments. You don't have to have the mic because we're not on the air. Just talk.
No, she's still.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's right.
You
still
have
gotta
to
hear.
You have to be very careful when you use certain words to describe someone. It's a very racist comment to make when you call an Asian person slanty eyes.
Yes, it is.
And to call a lesbian a pea liquor is very inappropriate and homophobic. So to me, for you to make comments like that shows a lot about your lack of personality, your lack of intelligence, your lack of humanity, and your large level of stupidity.
Miss Brenda, what you got to say?
I'm just shocked at you, Sharon. I thought we was all good. But see, since your UK over there across the pond has been everything, the shade has been lifted on the truth of what's going on over there. Now you want to join in over here and act the fool. For you to say and state all those negative things about your co-workers, your people that's on the panel with you, like Vanessa said, it shows the true you. This has been her all along, and now it's just, hey, let me just get out here and say what I want to say now. So I figure like this, you know what? You know the world we living in. If you feel the right to say that, then you feel the right to know the consequences are going to come at you. If you lose your job, I hate to say, I know everybody have the right to say how they feel, but in the world we living in now, politically correct, like that young man over there, she should know better. I don't have no empathy for her.
Yeah, she should. LP, you what are your stance on that? I don't know.
And someone said, "Can you please speak up?"
I think she's probably not like racist, but I think that she just said the meanest thing she could think to say. because I've definitely been called. You guys don't play video games online. I do. People say really mean things when they want to get under your skin. And it's like, I assume the person on the other end of the mic isn't actually racist, but that's just the meanest thing they can think to say at that moment. So she's probably not racist, but she still probably shouldn't say these things.
Then they need to find something else to do. If
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what-
because
that's what
it
they're
sets
gonna do.
it sets a precedence of being a racist.
I think she is racist. When you could sit there and talk about someone with their slanted eyes. I'm not saying that because with me, but that person was of an Asian descent.
Yeah.
Okay, what does
I mean,
that mean?
here's your
And
content
then-
right there. Look at the.
Okay.
Right, and
Okay.
then when you're saying something about someone's sexuality, you're racist in a form. It's like we're living in a world that basically everything goes. I'm not going to sit up there and say, well, your husband, he did all of this to you, and you're stupid for being with him. You just don't do that. And
It's still,
she did
it's still
that.
wrong, and it's a very discriminatory thing to say, but I'm not sure if she herself is racist or homophobic.
So why would she say something
Because
like
it's
that?
the meanest thing she can think to
Well,
say.
I mean, and it's.
She was blindsided.
But I think what happens, and I think, if
Yeah,
I'm not
sorry, She
mistaken,
was blindsided and
you know,
scared.
they always say.
Scared of what?
I guess.
I think they always say that people always say the worst things, but they don't know what to say.
Absolutely, yeah.
By reading some of the other things that she says here and the statements that she made about some of them, calling the girl a wonton and calling another person, different negative names and things. And this has been going on for a while that she's made some of these comments to people who have been off of the air. It does set a negative precedence that says someone possibly could be racist. Real quick, let me go on here. It says, this is a story about Lindsey Graham. If you don't know Lindsey Graham, he is a senator that stands behind Trump a lot. He was saying that this new bill that they have, this $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief bill, is benefiting black farmers. He called it's like reparations. And he was basically saying that it's helping out black farmers and it's not necessarily helping out white farmers. But the farmers are getting about $5 to $6 million this year through Biden. But in the previous administration, white farmers were able to get like $26 million, where some black farmers wasn't able to get anything. He's been criticized for that. And it was also saying here, I want to reiterate that since 1910, black farmers have lost 92% of their land, some 12 million acres, largely due to systemic racism. In counties that have farmers, the USDA Farm Service Agency has governors outposts known as county commissions or committees. I'm sorry. These committees are typically white, and they have not benefit black farmers at all during the times when they needed some assistance. Now, they got $29 billion was given in the Trump administration, and he's complaining that this is reparations to blacks. And so I want to know, Vanessa, what you got to say about that.
Apparently, he has no idea what reparations are. That's it.
That's it?
He has no idea what it is.
No, he
I
doesn't.
just want to say, watch the first 3 seasons of Queen Sugar, and they break that stuff down. Never thought about black farmers, nothing against them, just never got in depth into all of the intricacies of what they go through versus the white farmers. So, what's his name again?
Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham.
Watch Queen Sugar, because they break you down in those first 3 seasons. So, that's all I have to say on that matter.
And see, the thing about it is that this idiot doesn't understand that with a lot of white farmers, their success was made on the backs of black farmers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And here it says, most of the loans, because of these county committees, they said it was whites. Whites were predominantly the ones on the committees, and so they never helped out black farmers. Now, what I say about Lindsey Graham is is got Trump so far up his butt. He reminds me of Howdy Doody.
Thank you.
It's like Howdy Doody was a puppet. It's Howdy Doody time. So you might just call him Howdy Doody every time he comes around, because this sounds like something that Trump will say. To sit there and get upset that black farmers who get about $5 to $6 million through this $1.9 trillion of relief, because most of their farms have been lost, and when they did get loans, they were not able to get the money to get the loans, and then get mad that Biden is trying to help. You want to call it reparations? Okay, fine. I don't have a
So
problem with it.
if he's calling it reparations for the blacks, what is he calling it for the whites? Here we go again.
It's called privilege on the line. So,
10,
Sure.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
you know we can hear you, and they can hear
3,
you. You don't have to say that.
2, 1.
All right, so we're back on the air. I'm not listening to him anymore because I'm telling him I don't want to hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So don't do it anymore. You want to stay on this radio show, you're gonna have to start listening. You sound like Kirk Franklin's son, by the way. I'm just letting you know. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying. What's his name? Karen,
You gonna
or
put
whatever.
your foot on his
Is
You know,
Steven, are you there?
I am here,
Oh.
yes.
Okay, so Stephen, let me just talk to him for a second.
Go for it.
You know,
I want to make sure I didn't mess anything.
I just want to make sure you didn't miss anything. You need to start listening to your elders, and if you don't want to listen to your elders, LP, I don't want to hear that alderman stuff anymore. Okay, don't give me no alderman stuff anymore. All right.
I'm confused too.
He's jealous.
I just like to look on. I love to look on his face because he doesn't necessarily know what to say at this present time. But let me go on. I am just having. I'm just having a
The
good.
guy in the glasses is a personal friend.
I just can't.
Okay, can
I'm
we
not
get
working
back
over
onto
here.
the radio show here now? This is when you have people on there that don't want to listen to you. I need to start getting Tracy back on here. At least she listened half of the time.
Tracy just makes you think she's listening.
Yeah, okay. So hey, we
You
got
don't
Steven.
waste our time trying to pretend.
We got Stephen Best on the line here. Stephen, I know, will always listen because he's a gentleman. He's a wonderful person. He does an excellent job scouring around trying to get information. And Stephen, I'm going to add something else onto your on your plate because I want you to start finding out some things about me for entertainment as well, the entertainment world. As far as theater, I want you to stretch a little bit. So some of the things you can find about the entertainment world, because I know you know about that as well. But I'm going to let Stephen Best start us off with the best in theater. Stephen, what you got for me today, man?
Well, you have got it, my friend. And I think tonight we're evenly split between the Chicagoland area and Broadway news. My inbox has been exploding all day, starting with this weekend here in Chicago, streaming online from the Porch Light Theater is the Chicago Sings Rock and Roll Broadway. Now, they said it's opening Saturday night. It's actually going to start streaming this Saturday evening all the way through April 18th. And it is from Porch Light Theater, featuring over 50 Chicago-based performers singing classic hits from Broadway musicals like Bye Bye Birdie, the Tony-nominated Jagged Little Pill, Spring Awakening, The Wiz, Hairspray, Dreamgirls, and more. And I'm telling you, the list of talent is a who's who of Windy City impressive singers and vocalists. We've got Ariana Burks. We've got Molly Callanan. We have Robin De Silva, my girl Robin. We have Dontario Johnson, Sawyer Smith, Chucky Benson, David Robbins, and that was just the first sentence of over 50 talented performers. So I'm very much looking forward to this. If you want to stream, you go to porchlighttheater.com and you sign up. Now, this is a fundraiser, so there will be a fee with your tickets. And also, how could I forget? They are also awarding the 2021 Guy Adkins Award to Miss Felicia P. Fields, Tony nominated for her work in New York on The Color Purple, the Oprah Winfrey Presents The Color Purple. Felicia Fields has been in literally 30 years worth of productions here in Chicago. So this looks to be a really fabulous night this Saturday through April 18th. Again, Chicago Sings Rock and Roll Broadway. Moving on, just announced the Goodman Theater has added something to their encore streaming series. Brenda, I know you loved this play when we saw it. How to Catch Creation.
Oh,
It is
yes.
streaming now. It is streaming now through March 28th. Now, it is free to stream, but you do have to sign up online for